Oh my god, welcome back to class, everybody. I am your reborn weebology professor, Ricky.
Welcome back, booze and ghouls. Uh-oh, it's almost autumn.
Oh my god, it was so cold today and I love it. The wind was blowing, it smelled not humid outside. And
I know,
it felt
dude.
so good. Oh my gosh.
The freaking weather has been fire the last couple of days.
For some, literally, I would say. But
you know what? They deserve it.
Oh no, yeah. Fucking gender reveal's gone awry. My goodness.
Yeah,
somebody's fault for this. But yeah, here in the southeast, we are doing an absolutely chill. The temperature has dropped like 20 degrees, like overnight.
Yeah, so it turns out when a hurricane goes through your area, you know,
blows all the heat with it.
Yeah, it was actually pretty okay with me.
That's really nice.
Obviously bad for all the people who got hit by the hurricane.
Yes.
And thoughts with you there. But I did look at my weather app the other day, and it was the same temperature here as it was in like upstate New York the other day.
Wow. Holy shit.
I know.
That's a hell of a comparison.
So I very thankful for that, because I don't know about you and anyone else that lives in the southeast, but it has felt so freaking hot this year.
And
to normal.
Me and heat don't play nice together. I'm not built for that shit.
I actually think because I've spent less time in the heat this year is why it felt so bad.
Oh, you weren't generally
Like
used to it locally. Yeah, right. More indoor time, frankly.
100% more indoor time.
Inside making that sweet, good anime content of all types.
And stuff like that.
And stuff of that nature.
Sure, dude.
But, you know, and it's getting closer to fall time, Halloween, spooky stuff, and we have a little bit of demon stuff on the way today. We are talking about a very recent show, hot off the presses. This is going to be like... Episode 13 will probably be out when this episode comes out, but we are talking about it when 12 of 13 are out. The Misfit of Demon King Academy. Ethan, I had so much fun watching this one.
Yeah, you're welcome, I guess. I was really pushing for this for a while. And the reason that I was very interested in watching it was because of Iruma-kun, actually, which was last year.
Yes.
And seemed like a very similar premise, which that one was basically a human was taken to Demon World and then joined Demon King Academy, whatever. And this one's a little bit different.
And from at first glance, even from off the rip, even like halfway through the first episode, it really starts out like a very generic OP power fantasy harem-y kind of show. Very high fantasy in that regard. But it really takes a very interesting turn, which we'll talk about. And I think it sets itself apart in a lot of really fun ways. And Silverlink did a really good job on this show. The character design, straight up, fantastic. I love the way these characters look. Every from all the higher demons to just the students themselves, fantastic character designs. So, loved it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the uniforms are sweet. I like that Anos's is a little different.
Yeah,
it's got that like thing hanging off of his pants.
It's very Seto Kaiba if you look at it. Like,
he is Seto Kaiba.
Let's be real. He's Seto Kaiba.
I can do whatever I want because I'm rich.
I'm literally
I can do whatever
a badass.
I want because I'm the strongest person in the whole fucking world.
So let's give you guys just a little bit of sauce so you kind of understand the context, and we'll dive into the stuff we liked and didn't and all the good stuff. So, in this world that we have, you have kind of on the same plane of existence, you have demons, spirits, humans, kind of all taking up the same physical world. And we kind of follow around the demon side of things. And this school at this academy is basically a demon Hogwarts of sorts, kind of magical in that regard.
Whoa.
To the end of finding the new reincarnation of the Demon King of Tyranny, the man fabled 2,000 years ago to have basically won a war, or partook in a war, and has been prophesied to return to lead the demons to ruling everything. That's kind of where it is. It's basically we're following a demon Hogwarts. That's what's going on.
So the fun part about it is you come after a 2,000-year time skip, basically, is where we pick up the story.
Just a couple millennia, nothing crazy.
And it's very interesting the way that they do this show because they fill in the lore of like what happened 2,000 years ago as we kind of follow the guy who the lore is about.
Yes. And what's even more distinctive than when I know at people at home, okay, reincarnation, just someone's going to be born and then find out that they have this power. Nope, it's literally him.
Yeah.
Literally born. He grows from a baby to a 15-year-old in a month. And his first words are his full name, which I forgot how to pronounce his Vollegold.
So
something like that.
This is one of my favorite parts of the show.
Okay.
Voldegood.
Yeah. Anos Voldegood.
I've been like saying that in my head so much because it seems like such a anime thing.
It is.
Like Voldegood.
Yes. And I mean, so it's not that he found out he's the reincarnation. He is fully aware and intelligent from the moment he is born that, okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
And, you know, not to tee up or anything, but history isn't exactly what it seems when he comes back. You know, the entire demon society formed around what they call the founding ancestor, which is him. And the entire history and society was built around what they had passed down for 2,000 years. And he comes back and realizes there's a bunch of shit wrong, honestly, about him and what actually went down. Because there's like, you know, from a societal aspect, there's a lot of class warfare going on here.
Right. So basically there's like purebreds, essentially demons, and then lessers and
hybrids. Ugh.
Yeah, and the weird thing about that is, at least so Enno says, is like when he left, there was never any of this. So it's like a completely new world, which I think is really interesting to see the guy who literally built this world.
Yes.
To come into a world that has changed so drastically in the last 2,000 years. And like when I started watching the show, I was like, wow, 2,000 years doesn't seem like that much time. And then I'm like, oh yeah, the U.S. has only been around for 300.
Yeah,
a lot of shit's gone down.
Right. So, I mean, I do want to take this as also talking about OP character design in terms of a story as a whole, because this is a fresh take, I think. We've had a lot of good OP characters in the past. Saitama, Mob, even I'd argue Shin Wolford was basically okay, even if the show was mad, but he was an okay OP character. And you have a lot of, you know, Kirito from Sword Art Online, okay. But this is a fresh take, because even though he's OP and his power can literally solve all his problems by blinking, or maybe even his heartbeat, literally, his opponent is his own lord. That's his opponent, is history itself that he built, which is a very fascinating way to take, you know, to make an OP character compelling. There has to be a problem that even his power can't overcome. Saitama's a good example. He can't overcome his own boredom with all of his power. If anything, that's the reason why he has this problem. So he has to try to work it out with something other than what makes him OP. This is another case of that. You know, he's fighting history itself. Something that his power can't even match.
Well, I think they're actually very similar in that Saitama's problem obviously is his boredom, but it's also that he's so strong that people can't like really conceptualize how strong he is, right?
Yes.
Like even in the test that he does early on, right? He does like way above the bounds of the test.
Even that guy that tested him said it's as if a god resides in that body.
So he gets dropped really low, similar to the Misfit of Demon Academy, right? Where he is cast as this low rate demon.
Yeah.
Because he was so far above the scale of the test that like they just can't really figure it out, right?
That's a good point. So they are similar in that. And throughout the story, he literally is not shy by saying, No, I am the reincarnated Demon King.
Which I fucking love.
How awesome is that? And people like consider that heresy.
Yeah.
But it's
like,
right.
I am your lord.
I am your lord. Man, that would have gotten so many laughs back in the day.
Yeah.
But then, so in that same vein, he would show off his power, and the grand majority of those that would see it still really didn't consider it, even though it was overwhelmingly powerful. Like, to the point where, like, oh, this ancient magic, there's a flaw. Here, let me fix this real quick. Okay, now it's double its potency. And everyone's like, how would they not say at that point, okay, you are the Demon King?
This is really the only downside of the show.
Yeah.
It's like they need to do a little bit better about figuring out a reason why people would still deny him.
Yes.
Because if he's literally fixing spells that, like, they've been using for 2,000 years incorrectly, it's like, don't you think that maybe he knows a little something?
Some.
Perhaps he's the founding ancestor? I don't know.
A question I wanted to bring up before we move away from the royals and the hybrids. What does hybrid mean?
We could be royals.
Thank you, Lord.
I am Lord. Yeah.
I am Lord. Yeah. How does one become a hybrid? What does hybrid actually mean here? What does royalty mean here? They never really explained that. In my mind, there's just a bunch of humans going around banging demons, or vice versa. Is that the hybrid aspect, or is it spirits? I don't know.
So it's definitely not humans, because recall that they were blocked off.
Blocked off, right. But there's some commingling we see later in the season. It's possible to commingle. The heroes and the demons do.
As far as I could tell, that was the first time they've ever, like, commingled as two schools.
Okay.
But, like, once again, there's, like, without Anos having been there, we don't really know a lot of what happened between the last 2,000 years.
That's a good point.
The Royals thing, I think, is when they're direct descendants somehow of
the seven
demon emperors. Whatever the hell they're called.
Which their designs were fucking rad.
They're all sick as fuck.
They're all so badass.
7 dragon emperors, maybe?
No, 7. I think it's the 7 demon elder emperors. 7 elder demon emperors. Well, I'm going to call them demon daddies. They're the demon daddies. All right, the 7 demon daddies are the people that are the direct line after the demon king basically passed away of his own fruition. Said, I'll be
7 elder demon emperors.
Nailed it. Demon daddies. That's who they are. So I didn't get that.
Necron.
So yeah, okay. Necron is like one of the top families, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, and we have a character, Sasha Necron, who, you know, is basically your standard textbook tsundere, like twin pigtails and all. Is she like supposed to be a direct descendant of him? Because they are immortal. They're immortal. So that's like great grandpa, essentially.
Yeah.
Badass.
Yeah, they're related for sure.
Sweet ass. So, yeah, so you have what I argue is probably the highlight of the show is the way he is kind of benevolent, but also savage as fuck. Like, Anos is not kind to those who aren't kind to him. Like, he's pretty sadistic.
He's the demon king of fucking tyranny. He's not gonna be out there handing out freaking chiclets and and just hanging out and stuff, dude. He's out there to freaking show the world, I am the demon king of it. Freaking tyranny.
My God.
And like, if you don't believe me, like, we got problems, bro.
We're gonna have an issue.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna reincarnate you. I'm gonna kill you
again.
I'm gonna reincarnate you. I'm gonna kill you.
Do you think just by killing me that I'm gonna end up dead? One of the best lines in the whole season. And also, like, his parents are the sweetest people.
Oh my gosh.
She just cooks for all, and they're like very happy-go-lucky. He brings home Misha for the first time. And she's like, you brought home a bride? And then he brings home Sasha as well the next day, and then his dad's like, even your old man never brought home two. But yeah, he's a really kind dude at the end of the day. But I mean, the Elena thing was probably the most sadistic in my mind, because it's like punishment fits the crime, right? He never wanted a world where royals and hybrids were a thing. All demons are just, we're one people. And she was the big propagator of that very split hierarchy concept, the dichotic nature of this demon society. So what did he do? Fucking turned her into a hybrid. Literally killed her and reincarnated her as a non-royal.
Right.
Literally suck it. A fate worse than death. Love it.
Yeah.
For her. Right. Very specifically for her. But yeah, so the villain in this one is a very fascinating thing. He's basically rewriting the memories and history, the textbooks, so to speak. So.
Well, so yeah. That's the one thing that I'm not 100% sure on is it like written down? Is it a oral tradition? Like, because if it's oral tradition, then it's easier to mess up. And then also, the guy, I think it's Avos Dehodelia or something.
Avos for Avos.
Dilvidalia. It's an insanely hard name to say.
Avos dillweed.
Dingus. Avos Dingus. Yeah, so...
We're hysterical.
What he did is he basically was able to rewrite the memories of all the 7 demon emperors who are viewed as like the top of the top because they were there with the founding ancestor.
I have a theory for that near the end of this episode because this show is so fresh. 13 at time of recording hasn't even come out yet, but we have all of the deets. We have the big twist, which we'll keep to the very end, and we'll let you guys know because you guys, this is for people who have caught up, but we'll keep that delegated to the very, very end. How did you feel about the power system in this show? Just the magic system, and it seemed a little bit kind of lopsided in a very specific way. There's magic that he can just use. I know he's OP, but then suddenly as it goes on, these seemingly normal demons can just perform these stupid, crazy feats, like up near him, right? They do that one spell that's that one like ancient fire magic spell, and they just started like being able to do it like very casually.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
You know when they make that big cannon out of their castle, that Gaza, and that dark. It's like that darker fire spell that he can just casually blast.
Sure.
All I'm saying is there's magic that for years and years and years have been considered like impossible without a group of individuals all pooling their magic all into one spot to basically do something that is akin to like origin magic, like closer to Anos's true magic. And then they just start doing it near the final battle, just like casual.
Okay, I think that's an interesting point, but what I would say is it's similar to how Shin Wolfhard was able to just like get everyone in his class to be a top level, like national treasure level magician within like only a couple months of training them. They're literally getting words from the founding ancestor who was there when this magic existed.
I wish they showed more of him passing those on, I think. They didn't, because that would have been really cool. I think they're going to for sure in probably a different season. Like there's stuff that I know that you just have no idea what I can do. But I want to see
because they started showing that in the beginning it was like very rare that people could teleport around.
Oh, yeah.
And then now everyone in his crew is teleporting individually. So he's obviously telling them how to do things because, I mean, they made such a big deal about him, like, teleporting places.
He's history incarnate. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And then the fact that, like, now Misha and Sasha are doing it, like, he obviously has been telling them. And then Lei was doing it, and whatever that other girl's name is.
Little water spirit girl.
Yeah, the one that he's into.
Yeah, I just can't. I don't know. She was so unimportant. She was
dark-haired, big boob girl.
Yes. I don't know her name. Okay. Here's the thing, though. One thing, as much as I love the character designs, I was pretty lukewarm on a lot of these characters. They just didn't really stick out to me. Sasha, like we had a conversation. You liked Sasha a lot. I couldn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm just so tsundere burnt out. Because she is so textbook. Like she's like pretty standard up. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? I don't know.
What I liked about his like close crew is that they did believe him very quickly in the face of his feats, right? And then like all these other people are denying him in the face of his feats for really no reason, right? Like,
well, when you bear witness to someone literally taking on and defeating the god of time,
but all of these guys have seen him do ridiculous shit.
Yeah, that's true.
He won this magic sword contest basically on a whim. And beat elder demon emperors in front of them, and like they still are denying him because he's a misfit. Like it's just, I think it's fun. Like societally, they're denying these feats just because he's a misfit.
So like indoctrinated into the idea that even in the face of it all, okay. I don't know. There's I'm trying to like They all...
But everyone else is not important.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother me that they're not important.
I guess that's the difference, is that I think I have a problem with narratives and OP style stories where everyone seems to be in place in service to... I think there needs to be some level. I liked Lay a bit. He seemed to have a little bit more personality, a little more fleshed out. He seemed to stand on his own 2 feet as a character, right? Everyone else seemed to be, even in the times when he's like, I'm doing this, to serve you, Demon King, it always still felt like, yeah, because we're friends, It still felt like where we are standing together, not I'm here as a character to serve you. Yes, I know narratively that makes sense. Yes, I know that fits and it does work well in this plot. Just, it makes me so uninterested in characters when that happens. When they just feel like they're piggybacking. The OP is so meta OP that he literally swallows up any possibility for any kind of growth,
Well, I don't feel like that's really happening because he is obviously growing like his close-knit friends. What I think the difference is he is basically thrown into a pond of people that are denying what he's saying, right? And he's got to like basically turn all of their opinions toward him.
Of course,
so like
yeah.
their literal job, everyone that's not like in his little squad, is to continually say, I don't believe you until they believe you. You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
yeah.
Like there's that kid from class 3 that's like the top demon school kid.
Yeah.
And he's like denying him to his face, but like
he does love the Demon King.
Yeah, but like I'm thinking in the wake of what has happened in the most recent episodes, it's going to be like it's going to be really hard to continually deny this guy.
Exactly.
And I think it's going to slowly like turn all of them to his side. One thing I'm really concerned about, and you can let me know if you agree.
Yeah, let me hear it.
Through 13 episodes, I mean, we've seen a lot, but a lot has changed, right? Now all the demon emperors are back to normal and they have their memory back. So it's like, how does this show really have any leg to stand on past 1 season, past 2 seasons? Like, with all the demon emperors saying, no, he is the guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, isn't this going to just end like very fast here?
But if you remember, he's got 3 on his side, and
no.
The villain, I thought
at the end of last episode, he just got the rest of them.
Oh, right. Yeah. Because their sources had been left.
Yeah, exactly.
Fascinating. Yeah. So I would have assumed that maybe if they stretched this out, 2nd season, Demon Civil War, almost, right?
That's what I was thinking was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then, like, I feel like they rushed their story. They blew their load.
We're not even close to Spoiler Town. No. But that's the one thing I think it's, honestly, I
mean, I don't have a ton more to say other than this show is an absolute slapper. You must watch. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's important to discuss where it's going because you do bring up a very interesting point. Because that's why I wanted to use the show as a jumping off point to discuss OP characters and like what makes a good one. Why is Anno's compelling, and where does it go from here for an OP character? So, I mean, this is going to return into heavy spoiler city, guys. So, I mean, if you haven't watched the show yet, definitely go watch it. This is kind of one of those shows that this isn't a knock, but you can turn your brain off and watch the show and have a good time. It doesn't make you think too hard.
But it's also a show that I don't think is going to get like hella praise.
No, it's a fun romp. So
you got to listen to the boys here and just do what we tell you to do. It's like kind of your homework.
Yeah, actually do the assignments
it's
for
like,
once.
I mean, like it's 25% of your grade.
Misfit is 25% of their grade.
Yeah, whatever.
This is important. Go watch it. So yes, at the end, where we are right now, we basically have the reveal of this Avos guy because he's kept his identity secret under an obviously fake pseudonym. You bring up a good point. Where do you go from here? I think Avos is going to pull some serious shit because his whole idea is different than Anos's, where humans are weak. They need to be taken out. We need to have a war. Like, because they're not going to stop doing things because you can tell they're going to cannibalize each other if they don't have an opponent, essentially. And it's a very interesting take on humanity. Not a deep one, but an interesting take all the same.
Yeah, but it's kind of dumb. Like, all the power is on the demon side right now. Like,
as far as we know.
No. I mean, you have the original Demon King on the one side, and the actual hero isn't on the other side. So it's like...
But it's not the other side. The sides now have shifted in philosophy, not exactly entities. They basically... The hero has assumed that humanity will never stop trying to be combative. And the Demon King, Anos, is basically saying, we don't need to have this bloodshed. We don't, like, genuinely, I believe, like, we don't need to have that. We just need to rewrite the history books. Like, we definitely need to tell people, like, this is actually what went down. Because I think if that's what happened, if the truth is revealed to everybody, and they actually kind of swallow the truth a little bit, I think that peace can happen. Like, genuinely, like, oh, the demons actually didn't want to fucking fight.
But it's kind of like what I was talking about with what I thought would actually happen with Konoha, right? If you hold a nuclear bomb and the other teams don't have the nuclear bomb,
you're not going to fuck with the nuclear bomb.
Yeah, you don't just like intentionally antagonize the nuclear bomb.
Hey, poke and prod.
Right,
hey.
And so I don't quite get how this could really be that much of a problem. We know Anos is stronger than Avos.
Well,
maybe without Evans Marna or whatever it's called.
He's the only one who poses a threat.
He is, but like he beat him already multiple times,
and he kept coming back. That's the danger, I think, is that he's persistent
because he's not intentionally trying to kill him.
Fair, yeah, that's true. He never really wanted to do
Anos
that.
Has been chilling this whole time.
He really is a chill dude.
People gotta realize is like. My boy just be out there doing some stuff, man.
We can't just live in peace. Go to the markets. That's all we want. We just want to hang. I want to ace that first test. That's all I want to do.
I'm not really sure what we haven't exactly heard what
the overarching scheme is here.
Yeah, for humanity. He said they're weak, but we didn't really hear what that relates to. So that's obviously an episode 13 type situation. I think you were gonna figure out like.
We'll probably give it that a little...
What his plan really here is.
We'll give that a discussion on the syllabus sidebar, which you can check out if you're on our Patreon, $3 and up. Yeah, like that plug.
I do.
So you make an interesting point, and I think it's a real danger with OP characters, is that even if a new threat were to arise, right, it's not... A lot of the tension's gone. I mean, because the biggest threat that they have set up in this particular show... historically has shown its face. The hero is back, the only one who could possibly pose a threat. And if that were to be alleviated, resolved, you took out your ceiling that he's already above. There is no threat that can creep down on him. At least in the way I see it, in any meaningful way. It'd be basically a crapshoot, Deus Ex Machina in the other direction.
Right.
If an opposing force were to come out of fucking nowhere and give Anos some trouble. So... You're right. It's a really interesting... Where do you go? How do you do this?
So it's really got to be... And this is where the OP conversation can really start flowing. Right?
Okay.
Like, it's got to be like they do in One Punch Man, One Piece Man.
One Piece Man? I knew you were going to say that.
Where Saitama is obviously like the strongest person in this world, whatever. Mm-hmm. But that's like not really the plot that's driving the story.
It's a good point. Yeah, if you look at a lot of season 1 and even season 2, a lot of the movement comes from everything outside of Saitama.
Right.
So
what you need is the history aspect of this show to really start carrying it. Or like the royalist and unionist or whatever the fuck it's called. That needs to really be the larger portion here that kind of drives the story. It'd be cool to see, and this can't happen because we know who Avos is, but it would have been cool if you start seeing like a split civil war like you were talking about.
That would have been gnarly as hell.
Within Dilhayeda or whatever it's called.
Dilhayeda.
I don't know why they got to mix all these insane words together.
It's supposed to make it sound sage and ancient and high fantasy.
Well,
obviously.
It's like, I think it's Spanish, actually.
It got some Spanish
like Italian
vibe.
Or something.
It's something like an Iran car would scream.
Well, it's just like Anos Fold de Gold. I would imagine it was like
Fold de Gold.
Like really Italian or something.
Yeah, it actually sounds kind of Italian.
But anyway, that's what I kind of was hoping was going to happen. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen now.
It can't, I don't think. Unless it is possible, you do have basically everyone believing, because he just projected himself over the entirety of the demon land, saying, I'm back, it's me, Avos, the real one, the realist, the OG, and everyone's like, oh, fuck yeah, he's back. So you have an entire society rallying behind one.
Yeah, but who fucking cares?
Exactly. Who the fuck cares? And it's like, Anos is like, okay, nothing's changed. It's the same as it's always been since I've reincarnated.
And my man just put up 2 god walls between the armies.
Yeah, they did all the way across the mountains and
so
everything.
Everyone can see them fight, right? So it's I don't know how this is gonna go any other way than Anos coming out as the guy.
Right.
And then, we're going to have this situation where it's where do we go from here? There's not much left.
Even if you write it in a plot that makes sense, it's going to go back to something I said earlier in this episode and why One Punch Man is a great example of the contrary. I do not like it in an OP style story with an OP main character where, like I said before, that every other character is piggybacking and exists solely as in service of them and their progression. One Punch Man shines because every character is the exact opposite, maybe apart from Genos at all. Everyone is in service, not in service of Saitama, but to basically shine on their own and basically have their own progressions and their own growth. Pui Pui Prisoner is a good example.
Puri prisoner.
He has that angel rush, and then he learns from the Sea King that, when you do a combo, every hit should be a hit to kill. And then he has this dark angel rush, and he learns basically how to do a better combo. He is evolving outside of the OP main character. And you get all these threads, and that makes it compelling that when Saitama comes in and does his thing, it's really, the cutting that tension is a great subversion. Here, no one's standing on their own 2 feet. And the only guy who did is now the antagonist, which was just, they blew their load. They jumped the freaking carp, dude. It's gone.
They did jump the scarp, bro.
They jumped the freaking carp. So, yeah, it's, do you think that that's because it's a main character issue?
What do you think I ate for breakfast?
What did you, fuck, carp? I don't know.
What do you think?
Probably pancakes.
So, let's just say it was an entire carton of Oreos.
Where did this? What a damn! So left field. So you're telling me you had entire, not just the sleeve,
no,
multiple sleeves,
the whole freaking enchilada.
I am disgusted of you.
Yeah.
How is this even possible?
Well, you start with 1, you eat it. You start with 2, you eat it. And
you black out. You black out, and you wake up, and you're on the couch covered in crumbs. It's just what happens.
You just hit 50 so fast.
What brought this up out of nowhere? I love the tangent.
You were talking about food.
Yeah, I was. I guess I was.
Though I would not suggest eating carp. Not a great fish to eat.
This morning I had nothing but loathing for breakfast because I felt like shit as a hangover, and last week, since we're recording these in doubles, last week I was in a loathing cocoon and I emerged and molted as a beautiful Professor Butterfly.
Well, at least one of us thinks that.
I'm beautiful. Witness me.
Okay, interesting.
You're the don't even come at me with you interesting, Mr. Oreos.
And you haven't even mentioned my new watch.
Yeah, you were futzing with it last week.
I'm rich about it.
Yeah. But
I can tell time now, but I'm rich about it.
It also tells you you're dead. Because your heartbeat is 47 over, I don't know how this is possible, -15?
Yeah, I'm dead now.
You've gone beyond the dead.
It just, apparently I'm a freaking athlete. What can I say?
You're so OP. You're so OP that even your watch can't detect you.
I may as well be Anos.
Who's to say you're not, right? And
I mean, 47, I'm actually a little concerned that's too low.
You've been so chill this entire time, though.
But, that's a very low score, bro. Let's figure out what's common for normal human beings.
But you're an OP character like everyone else says.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I will say, too, while you look up if you're dead or not, I like the way that Anos is constructed as an OP character, too, because it's not often that you get an OP character. There's a line to straddle, right?
Oh my god.
There's a line to straddle in why? What should it be? I'll go back to this, but now I'm really curious about your heartbeat.
So normal resting heart rate for adults ranges from 60 to 100 beats per minute. Generally, a lower heart rate at rest implies more efficient heart function and better cardiovascular fitness. For example, a well-trained athlete might have a normal resting heart rate closer to 40 beats per minute. I'm a trained athlete now.
Oh my God. You think like Apple Watch just like fed you information to make you feel good about yourself?
This can't be right. So, okay. I used to have fuck it. Fuck the episode. We're just going to talk about this now. So I used to have a Garmin for like running, biking, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
It always said my resting heart rate was in the 60s.
Okay.
But my Fitbit before that had always said it was low, like 50, that kind of range.
Maybe this tech isn't, it's a variability in the tech.
I'm thinking, how is Fitbit and Apple Watch on the same page, and then Garmin's just not?
Maybe it's a different tech, different use of tech.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something's not adding up, and I don't know that I believe this.
Is this a conspiracy somehow, like to make people seem more fit?
I don't know, because when I would be at like peak run for that, the Garmin, it would say I was at like 190 heart rate, which
that's
I should be close to dying if I can do that for a long period of time, right?
Right.
And then this said I got to 160, which would mean I was like chilling, sort of.
Who is right?
I almost believe this because I don't feel like I'm going to die at 180. You know what I mean? Like I'd be dying at 191.
This discrepancy is very weird.
It's odd, is it not?
It is a conundrum to be sure.
Indeed.
But okay.
So I just wanted to say quickly, I don't know if it was.
I think it was. The Oreos really fucking did it, I think.
Yeah, I did have some Oreos.
Yeah. These two things don't add up. It's not the Garmin and Apple. It's not the Apple and the Garmin not adding up. It's the Apple telling you 47 and the missing Oreos from this morning.
Oh yeah, I also ate a whole bag of Jolly Ranchers yesterday.
What are you?
A god.
That's so much sugar, dude.
A demon. I'm one of the two.
You're like the Sugar Rush guy from My Hero.
Yeah.
You gain strength from
Sado.
Sugar Rusher.
So I just want to say a couple more things about the show.
Yeah.
If you guys have ever seen Katakyo Hitman Reborn, it has a very similar vibe to that, where it's like sort of history based.
Right.
It's not exactly like the same deal because that show is more like a reincarnation of the first like leader of the Vongola crime family.
Yeah.
Is reincarnated in the 10th leader.
Yes.
In some regards. It's a little bit like periphery of this type of show, but I do like the idea of history being the main driver, and I feel like a lot of shows could really use something like that where it's kind of like say there was like a super team way back in the day, and then you I don't know, 2,000 years later there's a new team and they're all like sort of components of the old team.
Kind of Seven Deadly Sins-ish, because they like
very kind of
because they had their own history and then they kind of re-collaborated and they're like, oh, are you the same people from like some like 1,000 years ago? Like, yep, that's us, and just a little dated, but that's totally us.
So what's one thing that you've done that you think nobody else has done?
Really?
Yeah.
Probably. That's a really good question. Something that no one else has ever done.
Yeah.
Probably this show.
Wow, dude.
I mean,
no one else has done an anime podcast.
Not one with two well-endowed professors with all of the
not a fan of that
all the accolades and that come with it, and tenure, obviously. Well-endowed financially and intellectually, obviously. The other one should be an obvious given. But no. I was gonna say we talk about that in the syllabus sidebar. Again, you can check that out if you jump on for $3 a month. We talked about how history is a good justification for an OP character. Like, if you think of Deku, One for All is extremely OP, but that justification is because it has a history of being culminated and curated, right? The more history it has, the more powerful it gets. And what makes Anos very unique, even more than the main character of Reborn, is that Reborn, he got to meet his past history and then gain knowledge and experience through that. Anos is the history.
Right.
Literally, he is the ancient that everyone keeps talking about. He is what they are basing everything on. So basically this is, it's almost like a Madara almost, right? Because history literally hangs this name with such esteem. So when you finally get to see Madara for the first time on screen, it has that weight. Anos is the weight. Everything's built on him. Same kind of way, but
yeah, the only difference is like
not the build up. It doesn't have the build up.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. There's not like we've been referencing this for 500 fucking
yes,
episodes,
right?
And now you're getting to see the absolute beast.
Because the first time you saw Madara was in the Valley of the End, right? And then you don't get to see him officially on screen until another series, Shippuden, like way into that.
Legit till the 4th Great Ninja War.
So yeah, that's a huge one. It's like 7 years.
Oh, it was big.
Yeah, it was a big
and
shit.
he did not disappoint. You know what I'm saying?
No, he was.
Came out here and
Madara wank mode activate. But no, yeah,
we are now the Madara Wank Podcast. Welcome,
welcome, guys. Yes, how about that Madara though? But all things considered, I think. When using an OP character, justification for why they're OP is important. That's why I think I was a little bit weak on Shin Wolford, because I've said it back in the past.
This guy cannot get this point out of his head. He said it 1,000 times.
On this show for sure. I don't think using high school level knowledge is a great justification for OP-ness. I know OP-ness.
Oh my god.
For OP-NESS. OP-ness. Yes. For OP-ness.
A Scottish wiener.
OP-ness. It's Jackie OP-ness.
This is Jackie OP-ness.
Oh, linguistic powers are off today though. I'm feeling good. But no, so it makes sense in the context of the universe, right?
Jackie OP-ness.
Jackie OP-ness.
Oh God!
Oh, dude, that's a new euphemism for having a wank. It's having a little meeting with Jackie O'Penis.
It's so bad.
Oh, we're on it today, man. We're on one. But yeah, so what do you have an example of a bad OP character? An OP character you see that you're like, this is not fun to watch. Ari Ferretta, Hajime.
Yeah. So I actually generally like OP characters.
Yeah.
I just don't like OP characters that lose.
Interesting. Well, that's the point, right?
I think underdog stories are bad.
That's not true.
That's why I said I think.
Okay, but you like Haikyuu?
Yeah, but like that's a team effort. It's not like he's just soloing an entire squad.
That's fair.
I think if you are built up as the strongest character in a show, if you lose, it's like the show is garbage.
Yeah, because when you say you're OP, you're kind of working in absolutes, right? And it takes one contrary case to no longer give validity to that.
Yeah, it's like in Fairy Tail, Zareth is like thought of as this like absolute thug lord, and he is.
Okay, to be sure.
Yeah. And they have to boost everybody like ridiculously to even get close to the guy.
Gotcha.
So it feels okay to me. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But if Zareth was chilling and decides he wants to fight these guys and then they beat him, I would have been like, what?
Yes. And I think it's cool to have an OP character that isn't your main character as a trailblazing for your main character. Great example, Yami from Black Clover. He is an OP character that is clearly, it's not Asta, he's not the titular guy of the show or anything like that, but he is the one to be the foil for shattering your limits all shonen style, and he's yet to lose, I believe.
By the way, I am, this is tough news for the fans, but really starting to like Noelle a lot more. Specifically because of her Valkyrie armor. Like, what?
If you ever want to come back to the Mimosa side, we'd love to have you.
I think it's just not a lot of screen time, and I also think that the uniform that the Golden Dawn wear looks stupid as shit.
Of course.
And Noelle's just getting hotter. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, and maybe that's the thing. I seem that you have a streak with Sasha in this one and Noelle in that one, just the tsundere thing. I don't know, something about it for me, And
I
can take it or leave
disagree.
it.
I think both of them are clearly the most attractive in the show.
But they're both clearly the most tsundere character at all.
Pure looks.
Okay, so but they both have twin pigtails?
I'm a shallow loser
Oh,
here,
no!
boy. I'm a dusty boy.
Oh, yeah. This is. Did the Oreos make you say that?
Potentially.
The Oreos.
The Oreo dust.
Got into my skin and my bloodstream, and it's affecting my brain.
Something like that. Or it's the Jolly Ranchers.
Probably the Ranchers. You might have sugar poisoning.
I definitely have something wrong with me now.
Oh, I really hope
I did
you
brush
worked
my
it out.
teeth multiple times, folks, just in case you were super worried about my
I didn't know
health.
I was worried about it until you alleviated that fear. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So I ate like 2,000 Jolly Ranchers yesterday.
I think you're an OP character.
And then
Holy shit, what?
I went for like a 2-mile run, and I just tasted Jolly Ranchers the whole time. Like, this is such a this big mistake.
Yeah.
Why? Because I needed to do something active because I hadn't for like multiple days.
Okay.
And I also didn't want to be doing other stuff. So
I didn't want to be doing other things. Not the run. The run seems right.
The Jolly Ranchers. So, okay, here's my strategy on junk food, folks. If you are to buy it,
write this down.
And I don't think you should.
No.
I don't follow my own advice. That's my
my mantra is don't have one.
Yeah.
My mantra is don't follow my mantra.
But what I would say is if you do happen to splurge on some candy or something, fucking eat it all in one day.
Really? I'll fix it in post.
As fast as you can, actually.
Okay.
And here's why. Disgust yourself. You want to feel like absolute shit.
Oh, no. But
you want to be that grubby little gum monster.
Little couch tater.
Oh,
just the
yeah,
throw
just
pillow of yourself.
Little disgusting demon boy. And the reason for that is now you're not going to want candy for the next couple of days.
Okay.
Because you feel like absolute dog shit.
I usually try to save it and have like a piece a day. Like
No.
what? I can't imagine how this is more positive for you.
It's not that it's positive. I just can't. So like if you have a sweet tooth,
it's
right?
like a negative reinforcement kind of thing.
100%.
Okay. I can at least get behind the logic. I don't agree with the execution. Because where I see it, it's like, oh, I'm craving a Jolly Rancher. Might as well get a fucking bulk pack from Costco and make sure I'll never want Jolly Ranchers for the rest of the year. Like,
well, it doesn't work like that.
that is the logical yet extreme end of this argument right here.
Well, I mean, that's why I ate an entire thing of Oreos, right? I don't want Oreos right now.
Okay, you know what? That's fair. It worked.
For a day at least.
So are you just eating packs of Oreos every other day to hope that the days in between you don't eat them?
No, my diet, frankly, has been atrocious since quarantine started.
Yeah, join the club, Bubby.
Yep. And so I'm going to have to probably get one of those meal services so that I just stop doing that.
We aren't sponsored by him, but my buddy does have every plate, and looks pretty good.
No, not one where I cook. That's actually
like you only like a meal, like almost
like
like
a little funny that you would think I would actually cook.
I guess that's fair. That's on me. That's a me thing.
Yeah.
There's like chopped chicken and all that.
No. Like Freshly or Factor or something like that, where they send you meals.
Yeah.
Based on some like I don't know dietary thing that you're interested in.
Right.
I used to do. Listen, fuck that. It doesn't matter. Question for you. Favorite candy? Sour Patch Kids, right?
I actually have an affinity for
You're a
right
sicko
now,
for Sour Patch Kids.
big chewy nerds.
What the fuck?
They're like basically think like jelly beans that are coated in like the nerd.
Oh no.
So it's like crunchy than chewy.
Guys.
I love that
that actually
shit.
sounds worse than what I did.
I'll get you some. They're really good. They're really good.
No.
But overall, I would say historically, yes. Sour Patch Kids, specifically watermelon, are fucking great.
It's just that I knew that you had a lot of Sour Patch Kids in your life.
Bro, like
what the hell was that?
It's basically shouting at you like I'm dead, and then I
like
have enough energy.
Yeah,
I had enough energy to say I'm dead again.
Yeah, I'm a little lost on that one. Maybe it ran out of space the first time and then died the second time.
Ah, smart.
Is it?
I don't know. So, dude, you remember this. I am shocked that I'm not 500 pounds right now because for 2 straight years, every day for lunch, I ate 30 pizza rolls and a bag of sour Skittles without fail.
So
I'm shook.
I've thought about that so many times. Like the shit I ate in high school and first year of college, like I should be dead.
I should be deceased.
We literally ate either Wendy's every night at 2 a.m. or
we did
Little Caesars every night at 2 a.m. in college.
Because we went to Burger King and McDonald's on that road a lot. Like, a lot. Every day, because we got out at, like, 1, like, closer to senior year, we just go every day.
Guys, we should be hear the worst thing I've ever done?
What'd you ever do?
So, we got out of school early on Wednesdays, like 1 o'clock or earlier even.
Uh-huh.
And me and Tristan stayed at Jack in the Box so long that we stayed there for lunch and then dinner.
You were loitering.
Yeah.
Literally teenage shit, dude.
We paid money, so not
I guess
quite.
it's true, yeah. What did you do there? Like what?
We were just
straight chilling.
I don't know if we were playing like Presidents or I don't know what the fuck we were doing.
Oh, okay.
The point is we were there for literally 8 hours or something like that, and we ate twice at Jack in the Box in a row, and that should tell you something. I should be dead. Why is my heart rate 48?
I think it's slowing down. I think it's trying to process.
Oh, that's what it is. It's all the oil. All the greasy poo.
So the worst thing I think I ever did with fast food in high school was when my parents were going out of town, and it was like before that field day that we had at the end of the year.
Which one?
Remember like literally at the field days at the end
of
the
one that I
year.
won, probably.
Sure, let's go. You know what? Let's go with that. My parents couldn't
imagine being happy about a field day your team won back in like 8 years ago.
My parents couldn't take me to school, so I stayed at Eric's house for the night. It's like sleep over to school night. Fuck yeah! And his dad would took us both, and he. Knowing his dad, like we know his dad, he's a little bit out there. He's like, hey, Bubba, hey, big boy, hey, big dog, you want to go to Jack in the Box before school? And like, yeah, can we get like burgers at 7:30 a.m.? And he's like, oh yeah. So we get like these big honking like $8, the biggest burgers me and Eric could find.
Can you get burgers at 8 a.m.?
Yes, you can. I can tell you totally can. And then we walked into school. I remember, and we felt like just cool for some reason.
Yeah, I got a burger at 8 a.m.
Like the cock of the walk, like, yeah, you know, our dad just let's get burgers at like 7:30 in the morning, no big deal.
Were y'all in the same household?
No, we were across the street. Sorry. Across the hall.
Yeah. What does that mean?
I'm trying not to dox people right now.
Who gives a shit? Is that?
Oh, okay. So I was in second floor in Stanton's and he was in Orban.
Gotcha.
So we were right there, like across. Not that matters. Like,
I'm just curious for me. Y'all can deal with it. Okay?
We're having a literal sidebar as we squeak right here.
Yeah.
But let's bring it back. OP characters, they did it right in Misfit at Demon King Academy. It is a fresh show. It's out right now. By the time you're listening to this, episode 13 will probably have aired. If you're on our Patreon, we'll probably have talked about it on our syllabus sidebar because I think it warrants a discussion to see how this sucker plays out.
Guys, I think there's something special about this one, and you're going to want to at least be in the know in case that they do something wild.
They got a little special sauce.
Season.
It isn't your run-of-the-mill power fantasy. They did a good job here, and it's a little more engaging, but it's not a big thinker. You could definitely watch this one, have a real good romp. I give this one I would say an 88 out of 100 ancient spells.
I would say 85 out of 100 Sasha Necron is the hottie.
Last couple ones I've been ranking higher than you. Why'd you put it down a little lower?
I guess it's the uncertainty of where we could even go from here.
I vibe. Yeah. If it were in isolation, if this show were to like,
if it's only 13 episodes, I feel like I didn't get to spend enough time with the world, right?
Yeah.
Like I really wish they had maybe. It seems like they really rushed toward an answer right now, like rushed toward a conflict. If we could have like slowly dragged this out over 24,
yeah,
I feel like I would rate it a little bit higher.
The answer we got was satisfying, but I think you're right. The execution to get there felt very rushed. Like
it just seems like very like
Yes.
Like, pistons going back and forth really fast, 6,000 million miles per hour.
Like they're like, it was like they had a secret that was so exciting, and they just couldn't help but share it. Yeah, they couldn't hold it in. They just shouted at you.
We're having a surprise party for you.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. Yeah, you could have waited. Like, just wait.
I'm sorry, we're having a surprise party for you.
Oh fuck! It's gone now. It's just a party
in like 8 months.
Oh, good. All right. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
I do like this show. I give it a little higher because there were some animation moments that were pretty dope. Silverlink did a pretty good job on that. Animation will always give me a couple higher on the list, but you're right. The uncertainty couldn't put it in the 90s. It's just, I couldn't do it.
I don't know. I really do think like you said, if they had spent more time showing him like teaching his underlings and stuff like that, that would definitely increase my score a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do really like training arcs.
I would
like
love
shit
to
like
have
that.
seen that, like shit that like no one has ever seen being passed down to those that are believers of him, and I think that would actually give credence to him more if they're saying, "Oh, this Sasha chick's been hanging out with and that Misha that like basically a hybrid knowing magic we don't even know about."
Right.
Hold on, what's up here? So,
And then, like, I would say the only last thing I would say is, like, the class warfare thing. I think they're downplaying that too much. That should be really more interesting and integral to the plot. Like, there should be more interclass problems.
Yeah.
Where the royalists, or whatever they're called, the purebred, the ones that wear red, and the white ones should be more at, like, odds in class.
An uprising in a way. But, yeah, so... Well, I think we're both in agreement that if they find a way to pivot the problem from human versus demons to demon versus demon, it'll make for a compelling season 2.
So hot.
Hopefully. So hot, so fresh, so dozer. And everything else...
Diesel.
Everything else is pretty solid. You'll have a good time watching the show. You got a nice little professor guarantee of quality here. It's a good time.
USDA approved.
Choice cut beef.
Certified fresh Rotten Tomatoes.
Fresh.
All right, folks.
But thank you very much for coming to class. If you want to listen with your eyes and your ears, check us out on YouTube. Hello. I think this cut out for this video because we need to, I don't know, this camera is just, it's not meant to go for the full 2,
Yeah.
But I'll just throw a graphic in here or something. I don't know. Maybe some clips of Misfit.
Maybe like a thing that says, patrons, thank you.
Yeah, maybe I can throw up the patron names right here. If you want to listen with your ears and not your eyes, check us out anywhere you get your podcast fix. Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon Podcasts. We're going to get that up and running now because it's a very fresh new venue.
We already may be up on it.
I'm
not really sure.
Well, you guys can go find out for yourself. Anywhere you get your podcast fix, we are most likely there. Check us out on Instagram at weebology.podcast. We got memes on news and occasionally giveaways, so look out for that. We got Twitter at weebologyp. We're posting and being more active on that platform as well. And if you can, give a little monetary love. Only if you can. We are on patreon.com/weebology. We are getting some merch ready to go. I have been looking into companies, and I have all the designs ready. So I think we just have to figure out how to use Patreon to kind of facilitate that.
I've decided to flip the script. We're doing something completely different now.
Totally different.
And I'm telling you on air, good luck.
Great. Awesome. But yeah, if you go $1 up, you get access to our Discord, The Classroom. It's a really good time in there. We have all everyone in there, like Saint. We have, who's the new guy? Random Mom Man? Something like that?
Yeah, Random Bob Man, I believe.
Yeah, thank you very much as our newest patron, and everyone else, like Eddie from Anime Compost. All the Anime Summit folk is also there. We have all of our guests. If they have been on our show, you can go chat with them in that Discord. $3 and up, you get it to our exclusive, sometimes anime, sometimes not, loose form content, syllabus sidebar, where we do occasional planning for our future content. So you have your finger on the pulse on what your lovely professors are up to. And I honestly think that is it. Ethan's doing some sweet Amazon pivoting right now. I appreciate the hustle. Honestly, but until next time, I'm Ricky.
And I'm Ethan.
And this has been Weebology. Deuces. I like this multitasking. Making content and things.